Morning, Pee-wee.
Look, Francis.
Today is my birthday, and my father said I can have anything I want.
Good for you and your father.
So guess what I want?
A new brain.
No, your bike. Oh, what's so funny, Pee-wee?
It's not for sale, Francis.
My father says everything's negotiable, Pee-wee.
I wouldn't sell my bike for all the money in the world. Not for $100 billion, million, trillion dollars.
Then you're crazy.
I know you are, but what am I?
You're a nerd.
I know you are, but what am I?
You're an idiot.
I know you are, but what am I?
I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I?
I know you are, but what am I? Infinity.
No, I'm not. You are. No way.
Wait.
Knock it
Knock it
off.
off.
Cut it
Cut it
out.
out.
Oh, shut
Shut
up,
up.
Pee-wee.
Why don't you make me?
Why don't you make me?
Because I don't make monkeys. I just trade them.
Oh, Pee-wee, listen to reason. Oh, come on.
I'm listening to reason.
Pee-wee.
That's my name. Don't wear it out.
Remember the first time I saw your bike? You were riding past my house, and I came running out to tell you how much I liked it even way back then?
I love that story.
Rest in peace, Paul Rubin, Pee Wee Herman. Timeline again, we're a week off from his death, but rest in peace. That was a fun clip, full of the classics, and so I enjoyed that. I hope everyone else did. Yeah, right. I know you are, but what am I, Jeff? Welcome to the Rhythm Section Podcast, presented to you by SRP Studios, a digital content production agency. As always, thank you so much for being here, whether you're watching or listening. This podcast is here to spotlight the greater Memphis and North Mississippi music community.
Video episodes publish every Monday on YouTube and Facebook at 6 p.m. Central, and the audio episodes publish every Monday morning on all the major podcast platforms. Go to therhythmsectionpod.com for all information.
We have merch on shelves in a store, everybody. Go to Boba Cream, 131 West Commerce Street, Hernando, Mississippi. You will find hats, shirts, mugs, tumblers, and free stickers. For more information on Boba Cream, go to msbobacream.com. And the Rhythm Section Podcast is looking to partner with businesses that want to sponsor this platform through advertising. Your business will get exposure and brand awareness. With an average monthly reach of 70,000, that is outdated. It is growing exponentially since I wrote this script. But the best part is your support will help this podcast brighten the spotlight that hangs over this wonderful music community. For more information, click the sponsor form link in the description or go to therhythmsectionpod.com and click that sponsor tab. Mr. Ward, how are you, sir?
Man, I'm doing awesome. How about yourself?
Good.
We had a busy few days.
Yes, we have.
It's been great, though.
A lot to talk about. Last week's intro was super long, so we're going to try to shorten this up. But Kevin and Bethany Paige are our featured guests this week. We had a blast.
That was a lot
in this
of fun.
interview.
Yeah, we did.
There's a lot of laughing in here.
Yep.
Those guys, lady and guy, came it and just brought it. And Kevin's a goofball, man. That's just plain and simple.
And just so Kevin and Bethany both know, we were offered the opportunity to tour Graceland with them, and we are going to take them up on that at some point.
That's right.
They are Elvis freaks, and I can't wait to do that with them and learn a lot.
And we talk about that, and I'm going to make a note. I forgot to put this in the Elvis suit.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll talk more about them. But now it is time for... I did it again, Jeff.
It's all right.
This is our band sponsor feature where bands come on and become a sponsor. So we, in return, announce their upcoming dates.
Yep.
We have formerly known as Saturday, August 12th, Hadley's, 9 p.m. Saturday, August 19th, Lakeland Garrison Lake in Lakeland. That's a 6 to 10 show, nice early one. There has been a cancellation, scheduling snafu, so formerly known as will not be performing Friday, August 25th at Rock House, Collierville. Again, conflict of scheduling, not going to be there Friday, August 25th. And then Thursday, September 7th, hometown headliners, the Hernando Square. And I'm going to mention a little more of this. I didn't tell you about this, Jeff, but we're going to turn the music down here. I'm going to give a little more insight, but you looked like you wanted to jump in and say something.
I just wanted to say that scheduling snafu was in no way the fault of the venue.
Good point.
That was a Sean Few snafu.
Okay. I was happy you didn't. I was happy we didn't throw the bar under the bus, but we just threw our sponsor under the bus, Jeff.
Sean knows that we love him, so we can throw him under the bus every now and then.
All right, so hometown headliners, Hernando Square. I'm excited about this one because, pat on the back, I helped Sean, and formerly known as, get this show. I'm with the Chamber Board of Directors, and they were like, Derek, I was on the board maybe a week. They're like, Derek, we have an opening. Do you know any bands? I was like, oh, all kinds of bands to call. So
I know a few.
I threw out to Sean, and we're in. He's in. And we do it every Thursday in the month of September. It's a big deal. The square fills up. The Hernandons, we like to sit down. But they love music, and they fill up. And I think we averaged about 1,200 people in front of the square in our June series.
Cool.
Brandon Mallier, lights and sound, baby. He's going to be there. They are going to blow this square up. I promise you, it's going to look and sound, and the music is going to be crushing more than any other band that's ever played this square thing. I promise you, it's going to be awesome. And it would be great if Memphis came and represented.
Yeah.
That would be so cool. So we're going to continue to push that date up until the week, up until it's done. All right. And then again, sorry, Sean, that Jeff threw you under the bus. It happens. But thank you for being our sponsor, and hopefully you can continue now. Watch party. We want to talk about as we record this.
Great Scott!
The watch party that we had, which was more of a private deal. Not really. It was thrown out there, but wasn't at a public venue. Right. It was at our friend Donna and Jimmy Phelps' place. Yeah. Just happened last night. Mm-hmm. It was for Shara Lane's episode, and it was a great time. A lot of people showed out. Jeff, go ahead and list off the names right now.
Yeah, everybody that showed.
Go ahead.
Sure.
No, just kidding. But again, thanks to the Phelps.
There was a couple
for having us there. Later, after you left, Jeff, I didn't partake, but it turned into a pool party or a hot tub party.
Really?
Realized what that did. But man, they had a great spread of food for us. Everyone brought their choice of drink, and it was just a fantastic time.
They'll all be glad that I left early and took my mankini with me.
But again, thank you again, Donna, Jimmy, and everyone that showed up. Sorry, there's just too many to think about, but you know who you are.
We've got to mention
how much we appreciate.
We've got to mention Paul Moreau. If we don't mention him, he gets a little upset. So, Paul, we love you.
And Paul, I don't know if he listens outside of parties. I hope you do, but there's an ongoing joke because he bought a T-shirt at our chamber event at the June concert series.
Right.
We ran out, so it was on back order, and it's been an ongoing joke because I have it, but I keep forgetting to bring it to him. And that's a joke. So then last night he gave me a shirt for the Tommy Awards, and then he realized it's year number 1. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
So I put it next to me as I'm saying goodbye. He's like, "Don't forget your shirt," and I forgot the shirt.
Oh my God!
So now he's like, "Oh, he doesn't want my shirt now." But yeah, that watch party was fun, and again, thank you for everyone showing up. All right, Jeff, you have some awesome things that you brought to the table today that we need to talk about. Well, and go ahead, man.
Yeah, and the first one, and shit. I've already lost what I had. But anyway, so I'll mention the pinch to start with. I went and saw those guys at Hadley's for Sunday Fun Day, 5:30 start time. Jonas Palmer, Leslie Williams Palmer, Adam Gaines, and Chris Ballantyne. I
heard great reviews.
The guys kicked ass. Yeah. That's all there is to it. They're a hell of a band. Just great stuff. Enjoyed myself. Had a marvelous time.
I'm definitely gonna get out there the next opportunity to go see them.
And the other thing that I wanted to mention, which I had pulled up so that I could talk intelligently about this, and now I have lost my place.
This is where I wish we had the Jeopardy.
Yeah. Found it. So, Jimmy Jameson, if you're a part of the Memphis music scene and even beyond, you know who this guy was and is. Jimmy is cemented in Memphis music history as an absolute legend. I love the guy. Many of the people that we have and will interview on this podcast played with Jimmy.
With so many connections.
Tons.
To Jameson. It's ridiculous.
So he is being inducted into the Memphis Music Hall of Fame, which is well-deserved.
And it's just hitting me now. What the hell took so long?
Exactly. I don't know.
For real.
I don't know why this is just now happening. But I wanted to mention this event. It is happening on Thursday, October 12th at the Cannon Center for the Performing Arts, downtown Memphis. Tickets are on sale at Ticketmaster or at the Cannon Center box office. So just go.
Yeah.
What else do you say? This guy, if you ever watched Baywatch, you heard Jimmy Jameson. If you've ever, he's a Survivor. He Vital Signs, one of just an iconic album that so many of us grew up.
Sorry if I'm wrong. Target,
Cobra.
Okay. Oh yes,
yeah, dude.
Man, I'm learning.
This guy is
I've
amazing.
learned a lot,
and he has absolutely had so many connections to the people that we have interviewed in this studio. Pete Mandillo has played with him. Corey Myers, Jeff Adams, who we will eventually interview here. John Roth, who we will eventually interview here.
Yeah,
so many. Bill Marshall. Played with Jimmy. It's just who we will eventually interview.
Bass player for Almost Famous.
Tommy Cathy.
He was in Target.
I believe that's correct. Yeah. So
sorry, I forgot your name, Tommy.
And Tommy, we want to interview you as well. We will be reaching out to all you guys because you're all a huge part of this history.
I don't know if you caught this post. I hope I read it correctly, but it looks as though because the Hard Rock is closing,
right?
They're moving Jimmy's statue to Lafayette.
I saw that.
It's going to be a minute. They said it's going to be a minute, but how cool is that?
That is amazingly
so
cool.
Congratulations, Lafayette. That's a coveted, statue. That's a great monument to have.
Yep, for sure.
So thanks for going out and representing this weekend to check out some bands and listening to Pinch. I had a weekend that I could not get out.
Understand. And I intended to do it more, but my wife did catch COVID last week. And just out of an abundance of caution, I had it a month ago. So there's not really much chance of me getting it. But I can be a carrier, and I don't want to go around musicians who depend on doing this for their livelihood. So I stayed away until last night when I went and risked giving it to everyone at Jimmy and Donna's house.
The day Pinch played wasn't for this reason, but Friday and Saturday, I couldn't go out because for the second time in 4 weeks, I get a nasty ear infection.
Oh.
So things to think about on that. But, when you fly and then sometimes your ears pop and then it just gets clogged.
Oh.
Well, imagine that not going away for half a week. So,
right.
All right, Jeff. We got one final thing to do here. And then we're going to set up the guests better.
We're going to have a little fun.
I've been looking forward to this. And we're going to have fun. And we're going to do something we haven't ever done. And look, we're going to address a Facebook post.
Yep.
We're not going to make practice of this. Please understand this is in humor.
We're being funny.
We're ribbing.
Tongue in cheek.
We're not going to do this. So we don't want people afraid to post. But
no. Pick on us all you want.
And I don't think this is about us.
I don't either.
But it's funny. Okay. And I was like, man, should we keep names anonymous? It's like, it's Facebook. It's public.
Who cares?
It's out there. So Shane Black.
Yes.
Posted something last week. And it was brought to our attention from our friend Tony Meharry. So imagine where this is going. So Shane Black puts this out there. Okay. So I got to say this, y'all. I've been a musician most of my life, and you all know, and you all know. So my question is this: we all know? We all know you're a musician? Thanks. When it comes to podcasts, why are we wearing headphones? All caps, with 3 question marks. You're literally are across the table from each other.
That's true.
What? Are we listening to 4 question marks, 4 laugh emojis? Right. I mean, it's not going to help. I lost my place. It's not going to help the mix in any way.
Right.
This whole thing is silly. Sorry. Don't hate on me.
Right.
Oops.
And we aren't.
And this is the cherry on the top. Facts are facts.
They are facts.
Okay. So Tony chimed in.
I haven't even read this part of it. I can only imagine what Tony had to say.
Here's a question, and I'm not trying to start an argument. Tony, we all know you are. It's their show. And again, I think he's assuming they're talking about us.
Yeah, and we don't know that.
Shane Black on Facebook, a musician most of his life, didn't mention us.
And I don't know him personally,
I don't either.
He may not have been
But we all know he's a musician most of his life.
Right.
But Tony's treating it like it was a dart at us. Here's a question, and I'm not trying to start an argument. It's their show, and that's the way they do it. So are you worried about it? Question mark. Just asking. I mean, if you want to do a podcast and do it without them, then go for it, right? Then our friend Danny Day chimes in. As Tony Meharry would say, just saying, and no telling what the Joe Rogan experience would say with a picture of Joe Rogan.
Wearing headphones.
Yeah. So I'm glad we're finally we're getting mentioned in the same space as Rogan.
Yeah. Yeah. That's about as close as we're going to get, I think.
Okay. So
Joe took after us. Like, he didn't wear headphones until he saw us do it.
Okay. So we're going to pick on Shane a little bit, but then I thought it was a good opportunity to explain this, because this is not the first time I've been asked that. Like, why are you wearing headphones 4 feet across from each other? Well,
and Shane, we promise this is all in good fun, brother. We're just having a good time.
So good opportunity to explain.
All right.
All right. So most podcasts add elements in post, meaning music, intro, outro, in the editing process after recording. The far majority do. I designed this to be like a radio show.
Right.
So I play the music
whenever
in real time.
Yep.
Okay. See? Look at that control I have. So obviously we need to be able to hear that.
Yeah.
You know, because then our intro and outros that we read and everything, it's all real time. It's scripted. We don't have a pre-produced deal up there. Also, we have really fun sounds.
Yeah, we do.
We have a gimmick bank.
Please tell me you have new ones. Do you have new ones?
No, but this one is for Shane.
Shut up,
You know, like, we need to be able to hear that, right?
And we don't have a PA set up in the studio, so without the headphones, we wouldn't be able to hear any of that.
Right. And you don't have speakers out loud, because then it would go into the mics and cause feedback.
Yeah.
So,
problems.
you know, and then, you know, we got to be able to hear this. I accidentally hit both
at once.
Yeah. So there's that.
So yeah, there is a legitimate reason for us wearing these. It's damn sure not to make me look cooler.
But just remember, facts are facts.
Shut up,
Yeah.
So, and then also, you know, if we talk off mic,
you
know, we can gauge that.
Shut up.
You know, and then we have a guest. They need to hear the sound.
Shut up,
You know, we don't want them missing out on the fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So thank you, Shane, for giving us a reason to explain this.
I didn't look. Is Shane local? Is he?
I don't know.
If he is Shane, we're going to get you in here for an interview now. We want
clearly
you to be able to tell your side of the story.
Clearly, he's on Tony and Danny's radar.
Yeah, somehow.
But then we think it's funny that Tony at first just jumped up and came to our defense. So thank you, Tony. We appreciate that.
Tony is awesome.
Yeah,
he supports us, and we appreciate him a ton.
We just thought it would be fun to rib Shane a little bit and
shut up,
and have some fun with that. But now everybody knows why we use headphones.
Yeah.
Shut up,
All right, enough of that.
And Shane, if you think that we're giving you a hard time, you should see the shit we say to Fever Tree. It's crazy.
They know why we use headphones, though.
Yeah, they do.
Kevin and Bethany Paige, everybody.
Yes.
Let's do this. So, like I said earlier, they had so much fun. We had so much fun with them. They came in, you know, full of fun. Man, Kevin's full of energy, and Bethany's the sweetest person ever. And we had a good time.
Yeah, we did. We had a blast, man. We talked about everything from how they met and this whole thing got started, all the way to each of their music histories separately, their music history together. You know, Kevin's got a big history from MTV and back in the 80s and all that good stuff. And we talked about tracks.
Oh, yeah. So I almost forgot to put that in there.
Yeah.
He's very passionate about the usage of. And you and I are both on record. We're good either way. We understand tracks. I've used, in the whole casino era that I keep talking about, 60% of our set was track.
I'm finally in 2 projects. This podcast has opened doors for me musically. One of those projects is going to have no tracks. One's going to have tracks.
Right.
So it's kind of, I'll do either one.
It is what it is. Again, when when back in the day we had to play Earth, Wind, and Fire. It was a 3-piece band with a female front not playing. September is going to sound pretty odd,
Sure,
without all the other bells and whistles.
Right.
So you got to do it, and then you get better gigs, and it's all good. So, but he's a little more passionate.
yeah.
We talk about Bethany's award. She won in 2012. Emissary, is that how you said it?
I believe that's correct.
Emissary of Memphis Music Award from the Memphis and Shelby County Music Commission.
Yeah.
And then they have this amazing Elvis suit. And I think I got pictures of this.
It's not just a suit, it's a themed living room.
Yeah. Well, that's right.
Yeah, this thing, there's no joke.
That's right. Yeah. So, and then they got the suit enshrined in glass, glass enclosure.
Right.
It's wild. So I think I have pictures. I'll make sure I do. So Alex has them up.
The photo of it looks like if they didn't tell you differently, it looks like it could be a room in Graceland.
For real.
I mean,
for real. The couches, everything. So, and that's it. We talked a good length. This one went longer. I remember at one point we're like, I don't want this to end. So we didn't end it. We kept it going. Right. So with that, let's move on. Let's get to this. Hopefully we didn't under 20 minutes.
Hey, we did all right.
Not too bad.
We did all right.
So one thing I forgot to mention when we were talking about the pinch is, me and Jeff love spotlighting bands, and we always really want to make sure we get everybody's names, but sometimes it's just hard. We don't know where to search them on Facebook. So here's an idea. If you want, you go to your Facebook, like the band page, and put the members in the little bio section. That'd be helpful. It'd be easier and we're not making this about us, but just in general, I think it's cool to put your band names in there. And back to formerly known as, their page does that. So check it out. Yeah. It keeps it simple and what each member plays. So that's just a thought, right? Yep. And then you know what? Go check a band out.
Always. Get out and support local music. We can't do it without you.
That's right. Sponsorships, please, reach out if you have any.
Can't do it without you.
Oh, we forgot to mention that we have a listener.
We have a potential sponsor.
Well, the listener reached out, hey, send me your stuff. Yeah. I think I might be able to show it to some people.
Right.
Amazing.
Sure. That's all we can ask for.
Amazing.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen, but hey, you put it in front of the right people.
Amazing.
Our chances go up.
And that's what we keep preaching. Share. Even if it doesn't come into anything, that means you're all listening. Yep. And to that person, we don't want to mention names yet, but you know who you are. Yep. And thank you for that.
Absolutely.
And then go check out Boba Cream 131 West Commerce Street. Come on down, make a trip, grab a drink, take a sticker, and buy a shirt.
Continue to check out the artist from one of our good friends up in the Northeast, Brian Fagan and Grace Musicians Group. Check out Cooper Greer, Sidney Irving, and the Mojo. There's so many others. Just look at his page and check out the people he's representing because he's got some great talent.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Jeff, for coming in today. I appreciate your presence there at Memphis Music Family. Yeah. You wore that shirt at the party last night.
I did, and I haven't washed it yet either.
It's a little right.
Starting to get funky.
A little right. Need a bigger table.
Yeah.
But we could have a huge table and still hear each other. You know why?
Shut up,
Headphones.
Check out Kevin and Bethany Paige.
Thanks, guys. All right, we got Kevin and Bethany Paige in with us today. What's going on, y'all?
Oh, happy to be here.
Yeah.
Glad to have you here. Again, this is Jeff just saying, hey, we got to get these guys on here. And I was like, sure. I take his word for it.
No.
He knows how to book some awesome guests in here because he's familiar with the history of this town and stuff. And Kevin, I met you briefly just a few days ago at the Sunset in the Square in Hernando. And then Beth, I'm just meeting you now.
That's right.
So thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
It's Bethany.
Bethany.
Depends on how long you've known me. But
You got to add the.
It's Miss Bethany.
No, I was glad to meet you guys. I met both of you the other night at the Square, and it was a great show. I didn't get to stay very long, but I stayed for a couple of songs. My wife was having a minor medical procedure the next day, so I had to take off. But you guys sounded amazing, and
thanks.
You had, from what I saw later, a lot of people up dancing while you guys were singing, and that's always a good sign.
That doesn't happen at those. For context, in Hernando, Mississippi, every Thursday in June, they have live music in front of the courthouse. And you guys broke. It was 3 weeks of country bands,
Oh,
and then you
I
guys
didn't know that.
You guys rolled in, and the first song was a disco song. I was like, thank God, it's such a change.
But surely you guys did some Waylon Jennings in there somewhere.
No, we didn't. But
No.
I had a
would.
minor medical procedure the next day as well. So
Oh,
I
okay.
feel like you could have stayed a little longer.
You're just calling me out.
Yes,
on the air.
I love that. I love that. Yes.
My minor medical procedure was just getting up.
There you go.
My age,
It's just a miracle. It's a miracle.
Well, you said at your age, how old are you?
I'm 56.
Okay.
about to
Really?
be.
I am
Wow.
not.
I'm not even.
We're going to ask
I'm
you.
not
We don't want to be
asking you.
rude.
No.
But, dude, you don't look that at
Well,
all.
thank you,
No.
especially under this sweet light.
That's pretty good lighting. Yeah.
I have an old guy setting on your light. Just to make
You
you look
nailed
better.
it. You nailed it.
I'm 53 going on 65, so, you know.
Yes, that's
I
how
hear
it
you.
is. Yeah, we don't know how a lot of these cover artists do it.
Oh, my God.
3-4 nights a week, playing
Yeah.
church on Sunday morning. Just
They
then
do
a
it pretty pissed off. Is
and
what
then
they do.
man.
50-hour a week day job.
Yeah,
I don't know how
right,
to do it.
exactly.
So.
Well, where are you guys from originally?
I was born in Buffalo. My parents moved here in 1970. So
Okay.
when I was just little, we had nine brothers and sisters, or 8 brothers and sisters, 9 of us. So, so I feel like I've grown up in Memphis, and I have. So
Sure.
Yeah. Born and raised right here.
Awesome.
Went to Kirby High School.
Okay.
So go Cougars.
Cool.
It irritates me when I say that, so I like to say that. I love my Cougars. Yeah. So
Well, that's awesome.
Born and raised. Yep.
You've seen some change around here, haven't you?
Oh yeah. Big
The
time.
up and down,
Up and down.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, both of my parents were from the Midwest and had experience in the upper in the North, Chicago, New York City area, and all that stuff. So my kind of upbringing wasn't a Southern upbringing. So the musical tastes were really broad, and
Right.
Yeah.
and for some reason, my brothers and sisters loved all the R&B stuff. So we always had Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye,
Cool.
the Jackson 5, and just all these great funk, Commodores,
Sure.
and sprinklings of Eagles and
Right.
and Black
You
Sabbath.
couldn't get away from the Eagles back then, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they
Right.
took over.
But mostly it was R&B music. So, when a lot of I will tell other musicians, surely you know this song, and I say, no. What?
Yeah.
How can you not? Man, I just was in a different bubble in my house, listening to my brother, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was
September.
fun.
I used to
Yeah.
have to play September a lot. Well, just before we kicked off, we listened to a song just to kind of hang and chill, and I pulled up an acoustic Alice in Chains song.
Yeah.
Like you guys and Bethany, you were kind of vibing to it. I was like, you guys like Alice in Chains? You're like, I've never really listened to it before.
We're both like,
I was like, what? Holy
No.
smokes!
I grew up, believe it. I had a Karen Carpenter record on my player and listened to it for probably 4 years straight without ever. So it's not only who I grew up on, but she's my fave and
Okay.
more R&B for me as
also
well.
a great drummer.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, I know. Oh, I
Killer.
know.
A great drummer.
In fact, well, I'm just saying, but one of the greatest singers of all time. And I just go, how did they never recognize that until one day? I guess she just,
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened, but I'm like, how did you not see that? But-
Yeah, that was really
But
cool.
one of the best.
I think it's good for people who are going to be artists to just obsess over somebody like to have Karen Carpenter on your
Oh, yes, the
turntable
high
for 4
bar.
years in a row. You're really just taking in all these nuances. You got to dig into something.
Yep.
You don't want to. I mean, yeah, it's great to be diversified and have all these influences, but there's going to be somebody with most people they're just honing in on.
Oh, yeah.
And wouldn't you agree that I sing kind of low for a girl? I'm
Yeah,
just saying, and I
and
think
you
I
can
really
do that
think as a
thing.
child, I grew up kind of my range got lower and darker just from listening to her. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
I grew up with 8 tracks. My mom's 8 tracks, and it was a mixture of Saturday Night Fever, the Bee Gees.
Yep.
Well, that
stuff.
was it was Saturday Night Fever, the Jay Giles Band, Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
2 thumbs up.
And then my favorite band is Metallica.
okay.
I went the other way.
Well, that was my
Yeah.
parents' 8-track. I rated their 8-track collection, and it was the Bee Gees, Olivia Newton-John, and my dad was Jim Reeves, which, in my opinion, is one of the greatest country vocalists ever. And
60s, 70s, like what?
yeah,
What generation is that?
He would be 70s, I think, early 70s
Yeah.
is what he'd be considered.
The Waylon Jennings.
And Johnny Horton, but that's
Well,
what I
and
was
when it
listening
comes to music music you like, or you say your favorite band's Metallica, I always feel like
You've heard of Metallica, right?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that there's something inward about you that music's connecting with. It's not necessarily like, okay, I've perused over every style and this one appeals. No, there's something, whether you're not saying you were angry, but whether there's like an anger and you're going, these guys are vibing
Something
with
is
what I'm
speaking
going
to you.
through, or
Yeah, I'm the prime age when grunge hit, 13, 14.
Yeah.
And I grew up eventually listening to all the Def Leppard stuff. I loved it all. Loved it. But when grunge hit, I was like, you know, it just connected me because of my age and everything. But
and he was mad.
he was mad because it ruined his little era.
Yeah, we've had that conversation plenty of times. But yeah,
Talk about
grunge.
Well, you were in that age, you wanted to tear something up. And I wrote a song about it. Go ahead.
But a close 1B, like a 1A.5 is the Beatles. So, it balances that out. But like you said, when you dig in deeper, those two are up there because not only have I dug into every song and love all the album cuts, but the history of them and documentaries and just nerd out on them.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
So when and where did you guys meet?
Boy, I've been wanting
You
to.
got to know that one's coming.
It's such a convoluted story.
Yeah, it's not. But hey, we finally get to tell because it's
That's
been.
it.
All right, I'll go first.
Okay.
When I had my record out as an artist on Chrysalis in '89, I was doing a record signing locally at like a Pop Tunes or something like that.
Okay.
And a guy comes up to me and gives me an envelope with a picture and a letter. and it says, "Hey, this is my friend. She sings real good. You should listen to her," or whatever. And here's her phone number. So I'm thinking I did a lot of home recording and had a little studio at home as well. So I'm like, I need a girl vocalist.
I was 14. I'm trying to do
You
the
weren't
math.
14. You were 6.
Whoa, man.
Ain't no
Okay, 16,
Jerry
17,
Lee
18.
ain't. Hey,
Hold on, let me think. 89?
it might have been 90. You were 16.
Okay, you're right.
You were
Okay,
16.
all right. Okay,
So
you're
either
right.
way,
That's his story, and he's sticking to
Okay,
it.
he's right.
I called
I was
her.
16.
I wasn't hitting on her.
Not at
I
all.
really was going, I need to find a resource from a female vocalist to do backgrounds and this and that. So she blew me off. She thought it was weird that I called her.
Well, I'm like, first off,
I mean, try to make me feel like a pedophile or something.
Sorry, babe. Ironically enough, I had his record album, the black and white cover, whatever,
Right.
on my parents' piano in my living room. That
And
I
I
must have walked
called.
by a million
You
times. I thought it was cool that he was a musician. I thought it was cool that he was from Memphis, that had a
You weren't
song on the radio.
starstruck?
I was not starstruck. And I was just like, dude, this guy has a record out and he's calling me,
Must be a pedophile.
Must be a
I mean,
weirdo.
just
Must be
instantly
a
went
weirdo.
there.
I won't go pedophile, but just something ain't right. So no, I blew him off. I never called him back or anything, which was just totally looking back ridiculous. But so
I had a girlfriend too.
of course,
I wasn't hitting
I had
on
a
her.
boyfriend too.
Man, you're not making yourself look any better, buddy.
No.
You're digging a hole. You're digging a hole.
My parents wouldn't have let me date somebody your age.
So
back then.
fast forward a few years later, when my whole record thing fell apart and grunge happened.
I knew that was
you.
gonna the
So,
wraparound. I knew
yeah,
that was going to come up.
Sorry.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
and I, same page. I hate it.
So no, I don't hate it. It just
Yeah.
It
changed
just changed everything.
changed the
Yeah.
landscape.
It
So I started playing locally because I wanted to get better at singing. Singing was the last thing that I picked up. I was a drummer, bass player, guitar player, keyboard player.
I have seen video of you playing
Producer
drums, and I'm a
and-
little
You do it
jealous.
all.
Yeah.
And singing was the last thing. So when I got signed, I was brand new to singing and wasn't very good. So I decided when that fell apart, my record deal, I was like, I'm going to start gigging locally all the time and just get better at this crap. So we start doing a house gig at Alfred's on Beale around 92. And I see her and I recognize her from the picture and she's with her mom.
Because I was not old enough to get in. My mother got me into Alfred's.
There's the age
You-
thing.
if your
again.
mom was
What is
there,
this? Well, you were 19
I was
or
18.
something.
Yeah. It was the summer
18,
after I
yeah.
graduated high school. I know exactly when it was.
So let's do the
So-
math. How old were you? I got to.
No,
what
he's
was
7
this
years
thing?
older
I
than
was
me.
25.
No.
7 years
No,
old.
we're not like.
I was
7 years.
25. Yeah.
Okay.
7 years is a big difference, though. It's 16 and,
Yeah.
But,
So you were 15 when he first met you.
14
Called.
and 21, that's a little weird. Yeah.
yeah. So
Not a,
So we walk in. Like I said, I'd seen him a million times on the cover of the magazine, the album cover,
Right.
and I didn't think it doesn't matter. I just wasn't
didn't think I
attracted
was
to him.
hot.
I wasn't.
My album picture
It's
was
not very
horrible.
good. It
But then she saw us live.
So I walk
Kevin,
in.
just so you know, I thought you were hot. The freaking hair and the
Well,
5
hold
o'clock
on.
shadow, that was it.
Can we change seats?
We're gonna get there. So I walk in, and I'm telling you, I remember what he was playing. I was just like, I guess I knew. I knew instantly, possibly I was going to marry him. Truly.
Yeah.
Her
Sorry, my knuckle hit the screen. Sorry.
Birds chirping. I love that. It's perfect.
I was actually
It's a
playing.
weird sound to accidentally play.
I was playing drums,
Drums.
and we were playing Hotel
Hotel
California,
California.
and I was showing off the drum thing,
All right.
and that's when you were like,
So this could go on forever. So anyway, long story short, at that point, we did finally meet, and he did say, "You're the girl that I remember you. You blew me off. You never called me back."
Okay.
Talk to
And
the hand.
Yeah, and so that kind of struck up just a relationship, just friends. And he did
Friends.
call me a lot to do demos, and I did
Okay.
lots and lots of them. Long story short, then that kind of played out. I got engaged to somebody. He went on with
Oh, this took
but
a turn. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
"Oh, we didn't date."
Oh.
We
no,
didn't
that
date.
was no dating.
But now you felt a little something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we said we didn't date. Maybe we went out like too little. I mean, your
Yeah.
breakups. Anyway, I know we're here to talk about music. I'm trying to get to the end
No,
of
we're
this.
here to talk about you guys. So.
So fast forward to 97,
7.
and FM 100 was doing a 50-year anniversary song for
They
their...
commissioned me to write a song. They said, our premise is still the one. We want to pay you to write a song and
Nice.
glorify the station. And I'm like, man, how am I going to do that? By the way, they were like, and you can't, I'm going to talk about Memphis, but I can't say the word river because because
Because of another radio
the
station.
radio station says
Yeah.
river. I'm like, what am I going to write? That big old body of water that we all go on.
Mississippi mud.
Right. Probably
that.
couldn't say Mississippi either. It was tough. Anyway,
Right.
so I needed a demo. I did it as a duet, and I called her and said, "Do you want to sing on this thing?" So
Like, sure.
doing that, we started having to promote the song and do some appearances with that, whatever. So we really got to
Hang out a lot.
kind of hang out and laugh and
And being, once again, age, but first meeting him being that much younger, my thing was, be mature and like act, I don't know, older than I guess I kind of was. And he interpreted that as I was a total dud, which it kind of was. Because I'm pretty guy-like. I grew up with guys. I have guy brothers. And
Right.
I'm just saying, and I can be pretty
she
funny.
didn't realize I was more of a 12-year-old.
Right. And so,
25-year-old.
so that, once we really got to know each other and he got to know me, it just totally clicked. And we were married 3 years later.
Awesome.
Wow.
So-
It's really neat how you just, the third crossing
Yeah.
of your paths is
Yeah.
what did it.
Well, and when you really, for musicians, and I bet everyone that's a musician will relate to this, it's challenging to have a marriage and you all lead different lives. You're out gigging.
Oh, yeah.
You're,
Or I could
I'm
be a
saying-
nurse and, I work nights and we don't ever see each other or something like that.
Or
you know.
don't understand
So-
each other's concerns and struggles, whatever. So the
Right.
fact that we get to sing together is really an amazing glue and a blessing to just make life not just simpler, but
We get to live the same life.
Yeah.
the same life.
Yeah, I never have to come home and be like, "How was your day, honey?" And you never have to do that
Right.
either.
You don't
'Cause we
care.
know.
You don't care. I broke a string in the middle of Purple Rain. You can't relate.
So y'all have been playing and singing and gigging together ever since?
Ever since.
Yeah,
So
as soon as we got
awesome.
married, we started leading worship at a church. By the way, there's a whole spiritual encounter that changed both of our lives that happened about the time we got married.
I saw that
Yeah.
on YouTube, and I had a very similar experience. You and I need to talk off camera at some
Oh,
point.
okay,
cool. wow.
So, yeah.
Whoa.
So what was crazy for us is we started being worship leaders at a church in Midtown in 1999 and did that for about 16 years and gigged late at night at a house gig all the time. So that really, man, that was hard.
That's why I sound raspy now.
16 years, man.
It ruined both of our throats, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
I say
Sometimes
throat,
I'd
voice.
get home at 3 and know we have to get up at 7. I literally would just put on Lord of the Rings and 3 hours later I would
Ugh.
just
Man.
But
didn't
it
go to sleep.
shreds
Yeah.
your voice.
But
You
it's-
show
oh,
up. You show
sure.
up to church and go, Lord.
Right.
You're like, I'm literally praying, Lord, please let my voice
Something
come back.
come out, yeah.
Something, let something come back. and you push so hard. It's torture on your voice.
Scott Subway was our guitar player back then too, so he'd always come in and he'd be like, "Yeah, I can't sing either." So we're like, we know, we get it.
Well, you don't have to.
Yeah, we're
Well,
friends
that's
with
true. Not for that gig.
So you guys are both worship leaders?
We were.
Okay.
We still work.
We kind of got kicked out of that.
Okay.
That's another
There
long
was a
story.
situation.
We had a situation.
Man, we could take your stories in so many different directions. It's like choose your own adventure book.
I'm kind of scared to ask questions.
Well, and I tell you, as musicians, anybody who has a passion for God and the church, it gets dicey when you work for the church because
I've done it too.
you feel like it's supposed to be an extension of your faith and all that, but you're gonna encounter
It's still work.
personality.
Just business,
personality clashes, stylistically different directions, and so the
even
biggest
people
part,
in church have different personalities.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I played for 4 years every other Sunday at a church here in Hernando, and it was awesome. It was a great little gig. I loved it, but the preacher changed.
Yeah,
and the other guy was nice, but it totally changed.
Changes everything.
And one, someone would say, "Well, I go there for I'm there for God." I'm like, I understand that, but the deliverer on earth might not tie in with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it changed everything to the point where half the band eventually just, myself included, just kind of went on to different things.
Yeah.
Just changed,
Yeah. Man, when I think back, 16 years we did that. That's really kind of unheard of.
That
for
is.
Your body doesn't still feel it. Mine's never let me forget we did it for 16 years. I still can't sing. My voice never recovered. It
Mine
took a
changed,
toll.
just different. Now it sounds, just raspier.
Yeah.
And,
Nothing
that's
wrong
okay.
with that.
No.
It's a good sound.
Oh, thanks.
I like it.
It's a good sound.
Damage.
I like
Damage.
that raspy. No, the raspy. I love the raspy
thanks.
sounding voice. It's great.
Yeah, I listened back to recordings when we were younger, and it's like so
They sound
pure
so
and
right. Yeah,
pretty, and like
yeah.
sucking helium. It's all high. And,
Now I
No
just
more.
sound like a train coming off the track, just on ice.
So now that you guys are married, do you still call her to do backup vocals?
Man, we don't even want to talk about it.
When I'm at home and the gig's not happening,
Right.
I want to be at home and the gig's not happening.
Sure.
But we do a lot. I mean, we do all of our tracks, background vocals,
Sure.
all that, of
That's
course.
And you're
awesome.
writers, so when something inspires you got to do it, right? You got to tap.
I kind of stopped writing. I gave up. Really?
Yeah, you really don't do that much
really?
anymore.
Yeah,
Really?
it's such an emotional investment when you're really trying to chase getting cuts. And I did a lot of that in Nashville and co-wrote with all this stuff. And it's a grind. And
Boy, is it.
there's a it's almost like being an athlete. You got to be all in and
Right.
it's real taxing. So
Yeah, I bet.
and it's real discouraging. It's
And
so hard
up there all the time, and we were
there's
living
way
here.
more losses, air quote, than wins, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
big
Yeah.
time. And there's so many close calls with something almost happened. And man, it was
Yes.
going on the record. And then they
Yeah.
ditched it right at the last second, or they wrote a song that sounds curiously like yours,
Yeah.
but in the same direction. But
yeah.
it's the producer who co-wrote on that
Martina
one.
McBride covered one of his songs, and long story short, it was one like the last one she recorded. It didn't end up going on the record. That won record of the year that year.
Oh, man.
Album of the year.
That's how brutal this
Wow.
business is.
Well, and let
right?
me tell you how beautiful. This is an insight people won't know. That she was co-producing with this guy. I can't even remember his name now, but he's a big producer up there. And she actually said in front of him, "Kevin, do you have your demo tracks? I want to use the production of that demo." And she had the engineer take parts of her recording that they had already done with strings and orchestra and melded them, onto my. It was amazing.
It was.
That didn't go over well with the other producer.
Mm-mm.
So that's really, at the end of the day, why I didn't
Ego.
It's
Yeah.
a little bit
Egos.
of politics.
Ego got away.
clash if she
Thanks
likes
a lot, dude.
my track better than what they had done.
It's so fickle. I mean, that's the business.
It was ego, yeah.
Yeah.
But the song's great, and you can find it on YouTube.
Oh.
It's called Straight to
Straight
the
to
Bone.
the Bone.
Man,
Okay.
it's
straight
just
to
one
the
of
bone.
I wrote it with a co-writer, two co-writers, Hillary Lindsay, who's written
Oh my
more
gosh.
songs than you've ever heard.
Truly.
Hits, you would go, oh my gosh, that one. And another guy named Phil Barnhart who wrote Martina's A Broken Wing, which is a
Another great
huge
song.
Big hit.
Yeah.
And the lyrics and writing with that guy, man, he just would spew out these lines. You're just going, wow, I'm watching greatness,
Right.
throw out these lines like it's nothing. Oh, and Straight to the Bone is full of them. So good.
Man, it's so rough though. You know,
It's brutal, man. So back to why I don't write.
Oh, big time.
I'm just going. I always go.
It's like PTSD, right?
Yes,
Really,
very
it is.
much
Seriously.
So.
Yeah,
I get it.
it's trauma.
I get it.
Always being let down.
But when I do write occasionally now, I do find that lyrically, because I was never a strong lyricist, especially when I had a record deal. But now I can. The maturity is amazing. That'll come out and flush out much better ideas and really say something. But who cares? Nobody cares.
It's just music.
At the end of the day, nobody.
I do want to talk about one song that I recently saw on
I know.
YouTube.
Great
And-
lyrics.
No. Well, you've got two. As far as I know, these both are new. Whipped It Out.
Yeah.
And my personal favorite is the one you did about Rick Springfield.
Oh, yeah.
I freaking love that song.
It's
man.
called Big Time Bromance.
Yeah, well, it's called Rick Springfield.
It's called
But it
Rick
is a big
Springfield.
time
But
bromance.
it is a big
Because
time
I went
bromance.
on your website and
No, it just says on. I think the thumbnail says.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
That's the
Okay.
thumbnail.
Yeah, the song's called Rick Springfield. I
Yeah.
went to a show, and I've always loved Rick. My whole career I was studying the productions because he worked with great producers and stuff. So anyway, a guy was making fun of me for going to the show, and I'm like,
Because he is like the only guy.
well, I'm not the only guy.
One of
but
few.
I'm like, what?
One
You don't
out of
even
10.
know Rick's greatness.
Yeah.
He's really is an awesome. If all you know is Jesse's Girl,
Right,
you
that's-
don't know jack about Rick
Right.
Springfield.
Right.
So anyway, so I went and wrote the song, and I'm like, I'm gonna mold it to sound like Rick's music and all
Yep.
this stuff. And a friend of mine who was a big fan knew Rick and showed it to him.
Yeah.
oh, nice.
So he got a big kick out of it and said, biggest compliment. He says, this guy obviously knows what he's doing.
That is a comp. Yeah.
And I was like, and he says, that's the sound we were going for on the record we just did.
Yeah.
And I heard that record. I knew that those were the tones and stuff. Dude, I'm like, yes, it's got, and he signed my lyric sheet.
That's awesome.
Rick signed.
That's a nice win.
How'd you get
Yeah,
the
yeah,
pair
yeah.
of pants from him? This is a story.
Oh,
Those
I
orange
got
pants.
Rick's pants. Anybody want? Does anybody want in Rick's
They're-
pants?
they're
Rick
really cool.
Springfield's
Yeah.
Every
pants?
story has this swerve, man. It just like
Oh, we
comes out
can-
of nowhere.
I
should've
swear to
brought-
you, I've got a pair of his pants
Should've brought
that he
props.
wore
We
all
could've-
the time.
They're orange. I know that.
Yeah, they're like those, not parachute
Yeah. Like
pants.
they're- yeah. Like with
Yeah.
big pockets in them. Yeah.
Like MC
I know.
Hammer
Weird
pants.
stuff.
No,
Well-
I don't even know what to call those. They're like Old Navy pants or something, but from Old Navy. I've
We'll
seen
go
him
with that.
gig. I've seen him gigging them.
I have too.
You're like, Kevin, how
touched
did
his
you get
tush
those?
In
Back-
some. I
backstage.
remember I was like, "Can I touch him? Do you care?"
Oh,
He
she
literally.
touched-
I was like, and I poked
She
him in
touched
the
Rick's
tushy.
butt.
And the tushy, yeah.
That's
I was going to
great.
ask where.
His crotch.
Not that.
Well, the song is phenomenal, and I want to know: did you play all the instruments on that
I
song?
did drums and everything. Yeah.
I was figured that was probably the case, but it's amazing, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank
Watching you all perform, obviously you have all the backing tracks. Obviously, I'm guessing you did all
you.
those.
I make all those.
and
Yeah.
they sound great for
Yeah.
sure. You know,
Well, I take great pride in
Sure.
especially when so some songs you want to do your own spin on, and some songs it's just challenging and fulfilling to get it to sound just like the record.
Right.
and the tone of the drums don't sound like a Casio board.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Your drums sound like really authentic
Yeah.
Well, great.
for
great.
being backing tracks.
Yeah.
And some of them I'm just trying to make them sound just like the record. So if they don't sound real on the record, they don't sound real.
Right.
You know, I've just that's how I've learned. That's how I've groomed my craft as a producer. Is dissecting records and recreating them on multi-track. You know, even as a kid, I would do that.
Right.
Just recreate lots of Rick Springfield records, and so I have a passion for that. So part of our gig when we use tracks for all the musicians who are all crying about no track, we don't use tracks,
Oh,
you know,
no.
and trying to show off, dude.
Yeah.
I can play without tracks. I can freaking play without
Perfect.
tracks
Right.
too. But guess what? It's a skill set
That you should
that
use.
I bring.
Yeah.
If you're not good at it,
Right.
Then don't do it.
bring them.
I agree.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
if you're buying them off, you know, karaoke.com,
Right.
you suck.
Yeah, well, that's what I do. So thanks for that. That's the only way I can get them. I can't write all that stuff. So,
Well, I was in a casino band for several years, and it was a 3-piece band with a female front, and we're trying to play September and Brick House. We got to have tracks, you know.
Right.
Otherwise, it
Yeah.
would sound stupid.
right.
60% of our show is tracks, and I was cool with it, you know. And I understand both sides of it. You know?
Well, and I tell you, there is something to be said for, okay, we've got 3 musicians. How are we going to play September? Man,
Right.
just play it. Just play it. How about no tracks? I mean, there is a
I just wasn't talented enough. Seriously, we would have sounded like shit. I'm just telling you.
and we've had incredible keyboard players back in the day, and
that could
you know,
cover
that
all
would
those
cover all that.
production parts.
Oh,
Nat
yeah.
Kerr, Tony Black. I mean, amazing.
Those are rare. That's so rare in Memphis. Everybody knows how to play guitar. No one knows how to
Poppy
do
kinda,
6 layers within or zones in a keyboard.
Shout out to David Haynes.
Yes.
And
He's
willing to do all that because guess what? They're putting in 10 times the work.
Oh, yeah.
So can you pay them 10 times as much?
Right.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Can you count on them to be available for every gig?
Right.
No.
Right.
So I want the crap to sound amazing. So I'm going to use tracks proudly because guess what? Everybody I love that been seeing on tour,
They use it.
they've been doing it for years.
Yeah,
Oh, man,
nothing new. Yeah.
I was doing it in 1990 on my tour. The drummer couldn't play. I programmed all my show on a drum machine in one night and had to fly to Europe the next day. And we just gigged with a drum machine. So it wasn't foreign. You know, Prince was doing that in '84, using a Lindrum Live and all that stuff. I mean, technology. Come on, man. There's not a merit badge for man. Everyone played every note that came out of those speakers live.
Right.
Now, I played all the notes, but
Right.
just not live.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
An
I
extended
played all the bass
visible
parts.
band.
Yeah.
I have
So-
lipstick on my teeth.
No.
Good.
But what, you guys do full band stuff too, right? And do you still sprinkle in tracks?
Keyboards, yes.
Yeah.
You'll add the keyboards in that way you have a drummer and a bass player, but then the keys
Right,
come
and I'll
in.
play guitar, and some things I'll play piano on, so the piano is not on.
Pee Wee Jackson, Ronald Turner. Yay.
Awesome.
They're family.
How
They're
often do you
family.
play full band? Is that
Not very often,
Yeah.
maybe once a month,
Month.
really.
Yeah.
okay?
You know, sometimes we'll get to use the horns, but it's an art form in itself to integrate a computer into your band. I must say that, you know, for those that want to criticize or say they suck because they do that, man, try it. Try it for the whole show to have the clicks, the count-offs. We all got to lock. It's not enough to lock with the drummer. You got to lock with the track.
Yep.
And I'm not even listening to that click.
You miss one beat and you're
And
done.
you're off, yeah.
You're toasted.
Yep.
And then you turn it off, and then you're playing September as a 3-piece,
Oh, yeah.
and everyone leaves the room.
And you know what's funny about
Maybe.
musicians? When you get excited, you tend to play songs faster.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you're hammered, you're playing stuff slower.
Well, I love you said that because I always used to say the upside is it keeps you honest.
Yes.
You can't point at someone saying you're speeding up. You know, you can't do that.
Right,
Because
right.
you always have that argument. Who's speeding us up?
Right.
Who's slowing
Right,
us
right.
down? You can't have that argument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse. We all hate playing Brick House, but there's nothing worse than playing it at the wrong tempo.
Oh, yeah.
Boom, dum, 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 dum,
Oh,
dum,
yeah,
dum,
yeah. It loses-
ow. Man, it's got to be.
Yeah, it's got to have that backbeat.
It's got to be slow.
I'm going to
Gotta have the
sample that.
pocket.
I'm sampling all that.
That's going to be a clip.
That's right. Well, let's reverse in time here. Let's go back in time. And going through your website, there was really some interesting stuff in your bio. So, Bethany, you were winning a lot of talent shows, I see, starting at 8. Let's
Yeah.
talk about your
Okay.
influences and your beginning of
Another
as a singer.
early starter. We've had a lot of
Yeah,
those.
8
on this
years
show.
old, so
Yeah.
it was just 2 years away before Kevin was calling. But,
We didn't say what talent she was using.
no.
at this show.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness!
you don't have a sound for that?
I mean, I'll use it again. I'll just use it again.
Yes.
Oh, I
it's-
just meant you're assuming she ice skated. That was another
Oh,
thing.
I was,
I'm saying she could have roller skated
This
for
is true.
talent show.
This is true.
Go ahead.
I was a great ice skater. In fact, I loved ice skating about as much as I did at singing at 8, but both voice lessons and skating lessons were kind of expensive. Parents were like, pick one.
Yeah.
So hopefully I did that. I did the right thing. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, I don't have a grand story like him, but
Oh, yeah, you do.
love to sing from
You got a
the
million
moment I
trophies.
was- Well,
I
I do
went
have some
to her
trophies.
mother's house and she took me up to her attic and I was like, what the hell? There was 200
could have
trophies
melted
up
them
there
down and made it.
of all these singing things she had won.
I
I'm
was in
like,
Miss Memphis once. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, but singing was, I got talked into that. I was like, I just want to sing, you know. But been doing it since, I don't know, I guess I haven't had a day job since 22, 21. So, I mean,
Yeah.
It's
more
awesome.
than half my life I've done music.
I can guarantee you there's a lot of musicians that wish they could say that.
Yeah,
So,
no
I had a
doubt.
day job for a week.
He did
Yeah.
a week.
Brutal, wasn't it?
It was.
My only job was Gibson's Donuts.
Oh, I thought you meant no. You
Well,
hold on.
Did you?
That
at
was
least,
easy.
Did you at least get some free donuts? That's some good stuff over there.
No, and the girl
Sure
that was my girlfriend at the time. Her family owned the location where I worked at, and
Is that the one on Mendenhall?
it was on. No, this one was on Night Arnold. It was a second
that's right, that's
location.
right.
Okay.
That's the location we went to.
I remember it's so funny. I try to tell people, if you got 6 of those versus just 2, it'd be a lot cheaper. Just give me my donuts. Just give me my.
Don't make me do math.
They think
want
I'm
a donut.
trying to cheat them. I'm trying to help them out and get more for their money.
Yeah.
I know that's a side squirrel.
No.
I mean, you guys are making it so fun for me to play these sounds. I love it. But all right, back to Bethany.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
man.
Because also leading up to 2012, you won this big award. I see. Tell us about the. What is it? The emissary?
It
How
wasn't
do
an
you say
award.
it?
It was just an honoree. Which, gosh, I was in there with some amazing people. We had Ann Peoples, Wendy Moten. Come on, and they know each other really well.
It was a neat
gosh.
award.
What
Neat
was it?
award.
What was the?
It was just being a emissary of Memphis music for women. For women.
So like an ambassador.
And yeah,
Yes,
Gotcha.
ambassador.
Okay.
Thank you.
acknowledging greatness.
Right.
Nice.
But it was great. I mean, I was
Smooth.
very humbled and blessed, and
Sure.
just was. I mean, and then
And
to be with
drunk that
those
night,
people,
too.
I was. Dang, my speech was awful. Gosh,
Singing like a bird.
my daughter's back there.
Talking
No,
like
she-
a trucker.
You know me so well. I need a T-shirt that says "I love Jesus, but I cuss a lot."
Yeah. I can wear that
You get
shirt.
along with us.
Yeah.
I don't think
For
it was
sure.
cussing that night. It was just,
No, it was just. But yeah, that was a great honor. Like I say, some of
awesome.
the most amazing Memphis women you could
Mm-hmm.
possibly be. Category.
Well,
with.
I have seen one YouTube video of you singing an Elvis song,
Oh,
and I can't remember
My
the name of the
favorite
song right
Elvis
now.
song.
Sorry.
If I Can Dream.
Okay. And it's fantastic.
Thank you.
badass.
And I'm using that to segue into something else we were going to talk about.
Yes, and I
You
know what that
guys
is.
have
Pull
got.
up- Yeah, I want to pull up the pictures for me so I can see what you're going to talk about in real time. I haven't seen those. Oh, you got them right here?
Yeah, he's got them.
All right.
But we're going to talk about this room in your home
It's from far away. Just
that
scroll
was
through.
designed professionally
By
as
one of my best friends.
as a tribute to Mr. Presley.
Yes. The one and
Wow.
only.
And we will we'll have Alex put these photographs
Yeah.
up.
Took a year to
Okay.
get this.
We had to
So-
wait to get the suit made. There's a company that's been making suits for 40 years. This guy has a passion. B&K Enterprises had a
B&K?
passion. Oh yeah, had a passion for wanting to own one of Elvis's suits. He
Okay.
found out that was next to impossible to
Sure.
do. So he figured out how to make them.
Okay.
He went and talked to Bill Ballou personally and asked him for permission. Sir, could I replicate these suits? And Bill Ballou was so blown away that he actually asked
The real guy that made the
the
suits,
real
right?
guy
Bill
that made
Elvis
Bill Ballou
suits.
made Elvis's suits. That Bill showed him all the techniques, all the stitching,
Okay.
gave him the patterns of all the gave him everything.
Wow.
So this is exactly the way Elvis had these suits made. So all the secrets of how they know.
Right.
So they've been making them for all the Elvis impersonators for years, for movies. Every movie you've seen that there's a great jumpsuit, I guarantee you they
The
made
new
it.
one,
The
Austin
new
Butler.
Elvis movie, Austin's,
Such
all
great
his
movie.
suits are theirs. So anyway, so we ordered this. It took a year to get it almost. And my brother made the casing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
A
Now,
buddy, yeah.
he sold a lot of gear to get that because
Sure.
we're musicians,
I
and people
understand.
go, "Oh my goodness!"
Well, it
but I mean,
didn't
he was
belong to
selling-
Elvis. It's not
No,
like it's worth
no.
$1 million. Do
No.
not rob my
Please
house.
do not come to our house.
Do not come
Well,
to my
we
house.
were going to put your address in the
We have
in
a
the
German
footnotes.
Shepherd.
No, but it was definitely, even though it's not original, I'm sure that is not cheap to have done.
I mean, it's custom made. Anything custom.
And those
right?
sizes are Elvis's sizes. Those
Wow.
are
Yeah.
they still had on draft his 1973 measurements. And
Now,
it's thin.
Bethany, did you poke the butt of these pants too?
No, but I might.
Depends
Maybe I
on who's
will.
wearing it.
Well, it depends on
You
who's
have to
wearing
break through the glass now. I'm sure it's sealed.
Nobody's worn this suit.
No, nobody's
Yeah.
ever gonna.
I tried, but my gut wouldn't fit in.
Understand.
He's Elvis the later years, both of us.
Now, serious question: Is anyone allowed to sit in this room, or is
Oh,
this
goodness, yes.
But I didn't
Oh, yeah,
know
it's very
because when
homey.
you spend this kind of money on something
no, no.
that's a tribute,
By
you know,
appointment only.
oh, for only.
In
Understand?
fact, that's where the piano is. So that's where we spend most of our
Okay,
time.
awesome.
So, yeah.
Matter of fact, look, y'all, had it all lit up last night, and I'm sitting on the
I
floor.
was going to mention that.
I had a drink in my hand, and I'm staring at it, and Beth goes, What are you doing?
And I knew what he was doing.
Oh,
I'm just, dude, I'm in rock and roll heaven is
But
what I'm doing.
man, it really is. There.
See that big
Yeah,
old-
so let me paint the picture for some people don't watch. Sometimes they only listen. So there's a nice hardwood floor. It's a nice room with a big grand piano in there. What's cool is you got two, I guess, chairs or 1.5s they call, and for the end tables are drums. Like you got a floor tom,
Yeah.
and the other one you have looks like a smaller tom, but with a snare stacked on top of it.
Very cool.
It just guitars hanging up. There's one with one of your dogs sitting on the chair. You know,
That'd be Ralphie.
It's
My
just
love.
really cool.
White leather like the Elvis's room. I'm going to get the little white monkey. You know, have you ever been to Graceland and seen the white
Oh, you gotta have
monkey?
the white
I have
monkey.
not been to Graceland.
Neither have I.
What?
I know.
What?
I know.
Well, listen,
I've done,
Did I
I've
just
done,
hear what
I've
I-
done 0 museums in Memphis.
I
It's
want to
awful.
do a podcast.
And now's the best time to go.
I want to do a thing about interviewing Memphians who haven't been to Graceland and why, and personally take them. Man, it is the biggest treasure.
I know a producer.
That we,
It's a treasure of a thing we have.
Yeah,
and it's
it is.
so inspiring.
and don't you feel like I think Memphians, we just kind of all, well, not we, but take it for granted because
That's my
it's
thing.
Graceland.
I've
It's like,
taken it for granted
Yeah.
because it's been here.
Oh,
my whole
yeah.
I
life.
didn't grow up here,
Yeah.
and I still do.
Yeah.
Like I just don't realize.
Well,
I
here's-
know it's awful.
That's
This is
where
the good
he has-
news. The
he has
good
Sun
news.
Records.
You guys want to take us on a tour?
I
Yes.
will.
Go. You guys,
I will.
let's
Listen,
do it.
it's better than it's ever been.
Okay.
So
By
it's at
far.
its greatest, glorious point right now.
Okay.
And it's always expanding and becoming better. So,
Yeah.
man, now more than ever.
and
Let's
what
do it,
else
man.
happened there in his
I
living room?
proposed to her in Elvis's
Living room.
living room.
That is
Really?
awesome.
That's why in the room that looks kind of like this, it's, blue curtains.
Yes,
I
and the
can't-
peacocks.
Yeah.
Peacocks.
I
and
can't
stuff.
believe she had to prompt you to say that just then. That should have been the first thing out of your mouth. You're in
Dude.
trouble when you leave.
Oh,
I'm not
no,
as
no.
fast as I used to be.
Brain fog. No,
That's awesome, though. Yeah.
I did say yes, by the way, if you were wondering.
Nice.
Good. Good to know. I'm glad he
Yes,
didn't
there was
bring
a
you here
time it
against
was a
your
little-
will.
How many times have y'all been there?
Oh gosh,
I've easily been 15 times.
Yeah.
Easily.
I've probably been 6.
Okay.
I said, don't put those headphones on. I'm going to talk you through this whole thing and tell
Yeah, I
you
don't
all
like
these
wearing
little
the headphones.
stories.
That's awesome.
'Cause
Oh,
I'm-
they have
I'm-
one of those things where
Yeah.
they talk you through it.
Well,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
won't need it. We're going to go with you
No,
guys.
you.
Oh, dude.
Yes.
Years ago, when I was trying to still play for a living and have all kinds of side hustles, I was an Uber/Lyft driver for a couple of years. And man, whether it was Elvis week or just randomly, people from all over the world
hmm
would hop in my car and I'm taking them to Graceland.
The world, yeah.
Australia. I had Australians back there. It's remarkable. It's crazy the impact that guy had on everybody.
Yeah.
Well, and there's no place that I get more fired up than Graceland, which is why I wanted this thing in my room. I know
Sure.
it sounds silly
No.
to have a jumpsuit
No.
in a big old casing, but I get so inspired
Right.
looking at that stuff that I need that in my house.
Yeah.
What do you always say? It's like half Evil Knievel meets Kiss meets. I mean,
Good
just the
point.
whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, was he doing that as a homage to Elvis, you think? Evil Knievel? Was he an Elvis fan?
Evil Knievel tapped into what Elvis was doing for sure.
Yeah. Because, you're right.
Yeah.
He did wear this
Yeah.
same kind
Well,
of suits like that.
Just kind of that grandioso.
Absolutely.
Only he didn't take care of his suit very well, did he?
Yeah.
Nor his body, right? Nor his bones.
And listen, the company that makes this makes an Evil Knievel replica.
I didn't know that.
That would
That's
make sense.
amazing
That would make
too.
sense. I didn't know
See,
that.
I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but I can't afford a Millennium Falcon. So
You could get an
Millennium
R2D2 there. I've seen some amazing
Those are cool.
reproductions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we breezed over. We're going to move from Bethany.
That's okay.
Kevin's like, finally.
No,
can we please
Look,
talk
no.
about me?
Shilko, you hog the show every time. I'm
He's
a
a talker. He's a
But
talker.
It's all good.
It's
That's
all
what we need, talkers. That's what
We
we
do.
do. But I'm always fascinated about any artist that had record deals. Let's be honest,
And Chrysalis was like this little small independent label.
Right. Right, exactly. So
Just kidding.
you breezed over it and everything, but just tell us, how that came to be,
Well,
when you got your first deal.
When I was in high school and was playing all these different instruments, my band director said, "What are you going to do with your life, Kevin?" Because he knew I had skill sets at drum, good skills.
Yeah.
And wanted to see me be successful. I said, "Well, I want to be a star." He says, "Well, you better start singing." And I'm like, "Oh, singing." Now, my dad was an amazing singer for NBC Radio in the 1940s to 1950 in Chicago, live radio, 1,000 shows. But I did not inherit that gift. So, but around 1986, when I started writing more songs and going, man, I'm tired of waiting on singers to collaborate with because, no one was as ambitious as I was. That's all I did. I mean, some people were, but I'm saying,
Right. Understood.
You just hadn't found the
So
right
I
people
started recording myself in the pain that it sounded. I showed my brother, and never forget. I said, well, check it out. That's not very good.
Oh, which brother?
David.
yet. Hey,
He ended up being my manager.
I mean, it's painful, but
True.
the honesty, you need it sometimes.
Sometimes.
I'm like, well, dude, just to throw something. So anyway, around 1988, I'd had enough demos and stuff that I told my mom, if I don't go shop my tape around in New York, I'm going to regret it for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So my two sisters agreed. They were much older than me, not much, but old enough to
He's the baby of mine.
navigate around New York.
Right.
We went up there and knocked on every stinking door of every label possible. I mean, my shoes wore out.
All right.
We walked so much in New York. I had big old holes. I know.
Nah.
She says I'm hard on shoes. You are. All right. So,
That's what you get when you get a married couple in here. It's like, I know everything about him and vice versa.
so anyway, nobody would listen to the tape. Finally, Chrysalis called me out of the blue weeks and weeks later after I'd been there and wanted to come down and see a showcase. And in retrospect, I found out that my tape did not get heard, but my picture got put up.
Oh.
The girl thought I was cute.
No.
That worked in the office.
Hey.
So
Whatever it takes, man.
Was it the same
Whatever-
picture
Yeah.
that Bethany saw on?
No,
good question.
It was a much better picture. So anyway, so the record, one of the A&R guys says, hey, well, who's that dude? She said, oh, he's terrible, but he's cute. She apparently had listened to it, and it was terrible. And the demo was terrible.
Right.
But he didn't like being told what sucks.
Yeah.
This is so how the human dynamics
Exactly.
work.
And this is how the record business works.
Right, right.
Like,
You don't
luck and
tell me what
circumstances,
sucks.
Right.
You
If
you
I would
never
have known
know.
that was all it takes, I would have had somebody tell people
me
I
I
suck
suck.
a long time ago.
Yeah, but you don't have a cute face. I mean, there's a difference.
This is true.
Well, and isn't that, I mean, seriously,
I'll tell you who's good or not
it's
good.
the
You
way
give me
it
the-
works. It's those stupid dynamics of ego.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he did come down and see me play, and it was terrible.
Yeah.
And he told me it was terrible, but he said, I still believe there's something there.
Yeah.
So work, and I think maybe 8 months, a year later, he came down, or about 8 months later, and did a second showcase. And I guess I'd had a couple more tunes added that seemed like they were radio friendly. And
Okay.
So got signed.
Wow.
No, Chrysalis, isn't that Kiss?
No. It's
What was
Chrysalis.
Kiss's-
They had Billy Idol.
Oh,
They
yeah.
had the Huey Lewis and the News.
Oh,
they had
huge
Pat,
label.
Benatar,
Yeah.
Pat Benatar. They had
Yeah.
another big rock band. I'm trying to think.
I know Sean and Jimmy are so upset that I got the label wrong for Kiss.
For Kiss, yeah.
Well, Kiss
Yeah.
was on Casablanca for
That's
years.
it. That's it.
Casablanca,
That's it.
yeah.
But so Chrysalis, man. So you're right in the mix.
Yep.
These heavy hitters.
Yep. Don't meet I'd meet some people from the label sometimes. Like I don't know, it's not Billy Idol, Huey Lewis one time.
Oh, I love
It's like in
Huey Lewis.
a airport. I'm like, hey, dude, I'm on Chrysalis too. I'm like, wow, that
That's a
was womp womp womp.
Yeah.
Womp,
If we're making requests, I'll gladly play them.
And listen, the next time I
Oh,
saw
you spit on me.
next time I saw him after my song had been on the top 40 and all that, I saw him again, said hello, and he goes, "Oh, hey, take this picture. Hand me a camera." And took a
he has stories like that.
with
all
some
kinds
other
of stories
with a
with
girl
people.
or something.
That's awesome.
I'm like, wow. And then Michael Bolton told me one time, and a student, "You the pizza boy?" I'm like, man, what's I feel? Yeah, it's like a Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah.
Can a
No
guy-
respect.
Can a newcomer?
No, you're serious. Michael Bolton said that to you.
I wouldn't make this shit up.
Yeah.
I'm not,
And back then he had this long, beautiful black
Yeah.
hair, and he probably had a trench coat on. I'm like, do I look like the pizza man?
Right.
yes,
Of course it
because
was.
everyone in LA looked
Well, I
like
was
they
gonna
were
say-
trying to be rock stars.
Yeah.
I
That
was
was the
gonna say New
pizza
York, but-
guy.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah, or the waiter, the
Yeah.
server. Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right,
that
That's
whole
true.
thing,
That's
yeah.
true. But
So was that first song "Don't Shut
Don't
Me
shut
Out"?
me out.
Okay.
Mhm.
The hit number 17 on the top.
On the R&R charts, it went to 18 on Billboard charts. But yeah,
Man, that's awesome.
but it's a long way. The radio business is so difficult because and it takes a lot of payola, that's payoff money for people that don't know.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to
It's supposed to be illegal, but right.
Supposed
Well, if you don't have it in your system, and I did not, had no payola money. So we'd get a lot of support in Texas 1 month, and then the next month there'd be a lot of support in Midwest or whatever,
Right.
but you can
But
never
not all
get
at the
the
same
stuff
time.
to fire at the same time.
and that's what
Right.
That's how you get to number one. And if you don't get to all those stations, and they're probably 10% of the country. But if you don't get all those to fire at the same time, the rest of the 90% that lives in, Topeka, Kansas, or Tupelo, Mississippi, they don't pick up your record till that big 10% all fires it up.
Then they jump in.
It's a numbers. It's a thing that has to happen exactly at the same time. So 17 sounds good, but it really sucks because 90% of the country did not hear your record.
Yeah, right. But it's still cool, man.
It's
awesome.
cool, but it's also
we love you,
PTSD.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Right. Back to, but here's the problem. Let's say this as an artist. Young people get the shot at getting stuff out there, but young people aren't necessarily ready to go out and entertain and conquer the world. It wasn't until I felt at my peak when I was 30.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get arrested. I was still trying to shop my stuff out.
Did you say arrested?
I couldn't get arrested. That's an industry term.
Oh.
You never heard that?
I have not heard that.
I'm with her.
Thank man.
It just shows no matter what you're doing, like it should be easy to get arrested. Throw a rock through a window, you're getting arrested.
I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone that you even had to explain that.
I never heard it.
Have you heard of Alice in Chains?
So anyway, you get your shot when you're 23 years old. You're not really at your peak yet, and whatever. And if your premise starts out, you got signed because somebody said you sucked.
Hey,
it's not going to go well, probably.
No, it worked out. I mean,
weird things have happened.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's cool. I mean, seriously,
because
you had another one, right? Anything I Want. Was it the same album?
It stalled at 26.
And honestly, that's the song I remember most.
Oh, really?
That is the one that I remember hearing the most, but it didn't.
I got to do it on
Club
MTV or a Spring Break MTV.
Downtown Julie Brown.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got to see the Chili Peppers yank some lady's bikini. I didn't see that, but I'm saying that's where they got in trouble and arrested.
Yeah.
At that Spring Break show.
Okay.
They could get arrested. Yeah. They were so talented.
They got arrested.
And so just ungodly professional, they were able to get arrested.
Could get arrested.
So to go back to Not Ready for Fame, and I don't mean to circle back to grunge here, but Kurt Cobain, Nirvana, that was a prime example. Just explosion. Yeah. I don't know if anyone's familiar with their first album, which I love. It's called Bleach, but you would never think that they'd be getting a record deal. And then they create what became iconic record. But to them, they were in a shitty van pulling a trailer, and Nevermind is out. And they're on the radio, but they're still kind of in a van, and then all of a sudden, bam.
Yeah.
And they couldn't handle it, or at least Kurt. Some of these artists, they can't fathom the kind of fame because now you have no anonymity.
Well, let me correct. I was ready for fame.
Yeah.
I just didn't have the material to do it.
But some aren't. But then they get it. Again, the business is just wacky.
Yeah, it is.
The ones that didn't really care about getting it are the biggest band in the world.
Yeah.
You're a mama's boy. You would have hated it. I'm still convinced. We've talked about this.
We both are. At the end of the day, you really do chart your own course. You project what you're going to be to others. And I've always said these people that really make it big in music, they projected their way to that. They did a mind voodoo trick.
Well, they want it more than anything else, and I'm going to get it. And that's not necessarily the kind of person you really want to be.
People think the Beatles just appeared like aliens. They were touring for years together in Germany and just paying their dues.
Yeah.
To get
I wanted to be at home for 4th of July picnics and stuff.
Yeah.
Holidays.
He's the baby of 9. We have a huge family, and we're very family oriented.
So I'm sure I never projected to those around me that whole, come on, man, let's do it. Let's ride here.
Right.
Let's go.
Right.
And it takes that.
Because you did have other things you enjoyed and wanted to do too.
Now, being in a family with 8 other siblings, you didn't feel like in order to be heard or noticed, you had to I would gather your parents can't pay attention to 9 people as much as you can when you have one child.
You do find your thing. And that's how when I gravitated to music as my thing.
And as your way to get their attention.
Yes.
Yeah.
You had to hide food though to eat.
You gotta fight for your right to eat. Not to party, but to eat.
Were you hiding food up in the drop ceilings?
Under the bed.
Yeah, under the bed. So most people have Playboys under their bed, but this guy had fucking Pringles.
He said Dave used to literally put pies under his bed.
My oldest brother, my mom would make 2 pies. He would take one for himself. and hide it away from us.
That was the manager, by the way.
That was my manager.
That must have been
Tony
a nut
wasn't
house,
very
though.
good.
Where are you in the pecking order? Where-
No, I'm youngest.
Baby.
I'm
The
youngest
baby.
of 9. 11
Okay.
years younger than the oldest. And
Wow.
Mom was knocking him out.
Damn, man.
She did have a set of twins, so it
Now,
wasn't
Oh,
quite
so
every
she
year.
got a little break in the
Yeah, a
middle
little
somewhere.
break.
speaking of siblings, how many children do y'all have?
just
Oh,
one.
children?
Just one.
She doesn't want to be on camera, but she's
Understand.
behind us, and that's who we
Yes.
keep looking back at.
Nice.
Stevie, who is
Come on, Stevie, lean in.
Come on, make an appearance.
She's not doing it.
Beautiful.
All right, no.
She's a good
talented,
writer.
blessing, great writer.
How is she
Awesome.
so shy coming from you two?
What is it she calls it? I'm an introvert extrovert. He's the talker. I'm not, but she's even worse than I am.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you're
I mean,
not.
you get out and perform.
You're
You
not.
get-
Yeah.
you
You're
make a
not an
living.
introvert because you saw me the other night at the square. You were like,
Oh, well, yes.
She
Yeah.
was drunk.
No, it was
No,
not.
I'm
No, it was
teasing. I'm
not.
teasing. I'm teasing.
Absolutely, positively not.
tequila shots will do that to a person.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
She's
but
great.
our daughter's not shy, especially when it comes to getting
No.
on stage.
And
She
she's
sings with us.
Hating that we're talking about
Awesome.
her too, I bet.
She's poised and elegant and very
That's great.
kind. And
But man, I'm sorry. I'm going to center this back to myself again.
really,
I need to find a new sound for that.
No, listen,
mean,
I
I
was-
didn't do it.
I was
He's
like,
doing it.
I'm trying to connect this to my daughter. Like my daughter, I was painfully shy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I really had to break through. I knew I wanted to be on a performer. I'm going, well, man, those two don't work.
Yeah.
Shy. So I literally had to, I remember the day I did it on stage. I broke through, went out front, sang this song and said, I'm going to bust through whatever barrier this is. And you do kind of have to adopt this sort of obnoxious, put yourself forward kind of thing. And and then it kind of becomes your comforts. You know, you get
Your
good
alter
at
ego,
it.
sort of.
You guys have probably noticed us doing that for the podcast. I'm
Right.
all over social media throwing this out there because I want to help other people. And so, yeah.
I'm an introvert.
Self-promotion.
My core is introverted too, so
Yeah.
I understand. And up until 2020, you couldn't get me in front of a video,
Oh, wow.
in front of
Really?
a camera.
Yeah.
I would never, ever think of talking into my phone and posting it. I mean,
Interesting.
terrified of all that. I hated pictures. I hated everything, but I forced myself into it for my business.
Yeah.
I started my own podcast, one I don't do anymore. Put that camera on. And then now I'm overexposed. I put my face
everywhere.
out too much.
Yeah.
But thankfully, I'm comfortable with
With
this.
really,
Yeah.
I don't-
really
this
great
doesn't bother
lighting
me
too.
anymore.
Yeah, good lighting.
Under
I got the best one, of course. But
We look tan.
yeah, so I feel you on that. Like I had to just in order for me to grow my business, but also as a person,
and so many
Go.
musicians are introverts. I mean,
Yeah.
only an introvert can spend 18 hours a day in front of a turntable with a guitar. I mean, you know, they live in their own head, most of us.
I was an introvert as a child. My mom literally said I would go up to people at the grocery store and just start talking. She's like, "You're going to get kidnapped." You realize
I
that?
totally can see that.
And then, but I think as a musician, you know, you put yourself out there all the time. You're like, and when you're on, you're on. The when I'm not on, I'm just kind of,
yeah.
I don't, you know, I want to be off.
My parents said you're going to get kidnapped, and I'd say, "Oh, don't say that." And they say, "Well, we can dream."
Nah.
Can't blame a guy for dreaming.
Try
If I remember correctly, you tried once kidnapping her, right?
Oh, I love a callback. That's always good.
That's what we do here.
Good
Bethany.
callback.
That's what we do here.
We're professionals.
I see.
So, television appearances. What was that like? And tell us about a few of those.
Scary.
Your bio, again, I didn't even bother typing them all out. I mean, you hit all the great shows. Tell us about
Well,
that.
I didn't get on like back then. It would have been great to have been on the Tonight Show or something,
Yeah.
or what's the dude's black dude?
Arsenio?
Arsenio.
Oh, that would have been a good one.
Yeah, yeah. And once you get on one, they get mad that you already busted the. You weren't a virgin, TV virgin anymore.
Yeah, you want to debut them. That's the big deal.
Right,
you know?
right. But this guy named Byron Allen was the first guy who literally got a hold of us and said, "I heard your song driving home.
So of course you're
I
going to be
wanted
like,
to have you as my first musical guest." He was doing his new show, and of course you go with that.
of course.
you know. But
I'm waiting on
anyway.
Johnny to call. Sorry.
So, yeah, what were some of the shows, though? What'd you do?
Oh,
Oprah?
Pat Sajak
Sajak.
had a talk show back
Oh,
then.
I remember that. Yeah.
I didn't remember
I was
that.
on that show.
Okay, cool.
I had the wrong mic. They were mixing for the background singer.
Oh,
Yep,
no.
my mic was not even hardly
I didn't
on.
know that.
Of course.
I'm learning all kind of things.
Hopefully
today.
that's on YouTube somewhere.
So it just.
Oh, I got to tell you, listen, everybody knows Sexual Chocolate and Coming to America.
Randy
yes,
Watson.
Yes.
Yes, the guitar player is the black dude's got the big
Right.
spiked hair. He was my guitar player on the Pat Sajak show that night. So he was playing. So I got to
That is
play
so
with a
great.
guy from Sexual
with
Chocolate.
chocolate.
That was. I swear to you, that was the highlight. It wasn't being on TV.
You're
It was
more
good.
excited telling that than
Then
your
anything you
record
said,
deal.
right? Getting engaged to Graceland, no.
If you could have
Sexual
only done a
chocolate.
duet with Randy Watson, it would have been
We
good.
were all of our band members were tripping out.
Yeah, that's great.
Man,
I don't know. We were on Showtime at the Apollo.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I was on, like I said, the Club MTV, the Spring Break MTV stuff, Entertainment Tonight.
You know how many
It's good
people
stuff.
would
Which
have
one?
loved to have done that? So I know you take it like a
Disney.
grain of salt and everything because you are, jaded. No, that's a bad
No,
word.
no, no.
But you know what I'm saying? Like the PTSD.
You know why I
thing.
am the way I'm about it? I'm going to tell you. And if there's any musicians that are young, you need to hear me on this. This is the one wisdom this old guy can share with
I'm
somebody.
ready.
Is I wasted my shot when I had it with trying to be somebody else. I was trying to be cool on the shows. I was going, I'm going to try to be mysterious because guess what? The guy I love, Prince, he's like that. So I should have been my damn self.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because myself was way more lovey-dovey and
like our
funny
dating
and
story.
silly.
Yeah.
And it would have been so much more charming to the public that was watching me.
Just to be
But it's,
silly.
it's
and
hindsight though.
Yeah,
it always
well,
is.
be
Yeah.
yourself. What you are naturally is the most, what do you call it? Thing you could capitalize
Yeah.
on.
Mhm.
I forgot. There's a
Now, kids, knowing
You're
is half the
Australian.
battle.
Derek,
Shout out, G.I. Joe.
Derek and I actually are the idiots you see on
Yeah,
camera.
we leave it all hanging out
Yeah,
there.
we're not.
You're Australian.
Well, but when you're
Be
20,
Australian.
Yeah.
Tropic Thunder.
But, and this is going to sound weird, but we've definitely had compliments saying genuineness.
Yeah.
People understand that we're just human and we're
Yep.
here and we leave our mistakes, we leave our blemishes and everything.
Yeah.
If we were trying to be Howard Stern, they would have saw right through that bullshit
Right.
and
Yeah.
wouldn't have engaged with us.
Right.
So I understand that.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
'cause we're just
music
not
is
that
all
funny.
an act anyway. I mean, for most of us that are trying to be artists, you're really a fan more than anything. You're not the greatest genius of all time.
Right.
You're probably a fan. And that's what I was. That's felt what I did best was just love awesome music.
Right.
So you go out there into the world, try to be an artist, and you just basically are trying to mimic what you think is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, not many people are Kurt Cobain that just got something twisted in their head and it's really unique and cool. And
And
You
people
can
just flock to it. Yeah.
right. Most people are not that guy.
I wouldn't want that. Who would want that? I wouldn't
Yeah.
want that.
that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
it's
Like,
not-
So having said that, I'm saying going on all those shows and stuff when my record was out, you kind of feel like an imposter.
Yeah.
You can't help but go, man, I'm just kind of fumbling my way through this.
Right.
do I belong here? It's
Oh,
imposter
big time.
syndrome.
That wouldn't have happened to me.
Big
I would not
time.
have felt like that at all. I would have been like,
See, you're not an
Very
introvert. That
I guess
word
no.
is not even close to you.
When you were 18, if you were out there at the time, I was out there,
okay,
you would
whoa,
have been.
whoa, yeah. I say that as a person that's done this for
Sure.
many, many years.
Sure.
Yes, that's
but
true.
back then, you probably
Yes.
would have been.
Oh yeah, I was a
different.
little fledgling.
It was scary, man.
I bet.
Yeah.
Singing the national anthem.
Oh my God.
It's scary.
I can't even.
We've done it for
Because you're all on your own.
big time. And the first time I ever did it years back was at the Redbirds, and he had done it before, and he was like, you got to watch the delay,
Yeah.
and they don't give you a
Sound check.
rehearsal like they do at the Grizzlies.
Sure.
So literally, my knees were knocking. So that is a
bet.
real thing that happens.
Oh yeah, I've had that.
Got through it fine, but and the delay ended up being not a big deal. But it's just
I way
oh my
overblew it
goodness.
with my
You
dramatic
did. You messed
presentation.
me up there, but
Did you try to hit all these?
I try to keep that as reverent as
Some
it
people,
should call.
some people take it different directions.
My father was the Star Spangled Banner king
Yeah.
in Memphis during the Dana Kirk Tiger
Okay.
era and all that stuff. And he always would just say, don't jack with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do it like it goes.
Yeah.
Think
Yeah.
of it as a military
It's
thing.
a pretty song as it is.
Well,
You
it's just
know?
It
the
doesn't need
respect
your-
for the country. We've never been, we don't like jacking with it.
It's
Yeah.
supposed to be. It's meant to be a sing along.
Sure.
So it's if you're like
People
come
can't
on, man.
sing along with that.
All right,
Yeah.
Grab your
Christina
beer,
Aguilera.
sing along.
And then when they go for it and they miss a note, or
It's just-
it turns. And then
You
you're
do
like,
realize
oh.
that came from that song, the melody's from a drinking game.
I did know
It's
that.
got these European roots where because it's really rangy and the intervals are hard. So people would get wasted and see if they could sing. It was a challenge
That
song.
still happens today. Yeah.
for sure. That's a good one.
Yeah,
I wish
everyone
I
at
could
that
back
football
that up
game is
with,
sober.
with facts for y'all. But,
Right.
but I know it's true.
Man, I could talk to you guys forever.
Yes.
We're at an hour.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I don't
Went
want to
fast.
stop, but
No, but
man, we need to have you guys back.
we
We
will.
love that.
You guys
I
are
didn't
so
even get
much
to
fun.
prophesize to you. How do you say
Is that a word?
Dude, I feel your
Prophesize.
pain. I feel your pain. I can't talk either. But I don't sing for a living,
I
man.
don't even know what the word is. Evangelize to
Yeah,
you.
we'll come back and talk
yeah.
about Jesus next time.
Oh,
It
trust
works.
me.
Oh, nice.
That's what I want to watch.
Our favorite
That's what I like
subject.
to talk about the most.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, man.
All right.
Man, that was fun. Seriously, you guys were awesome.
Well,
Thank
hey,
you.
thank
You know.
you. That's
And I don't want to stop.
Yeah.
I wish we
We
could
have
talk
to.
about life as a gigging musician around Memphis. We should have tapped into
We'll
that.
do
a little
that. That's Eric said, okay.
Executive decision.
nice.
Pause.
Executive decision.
That works.
Well, you know, and as I think for all of us that do this for a living, there's a lot of what am I trying to say? A lot of pain in being a Memphis gigging musician.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've done this for how long? 25 years or whatever. I've done it for longer than that. The funny thing is, you never arrive.
Yeah.
You're always only as good as your last gig, or you know, you never really secure your place. You're always judged by that very
Last.
gig.
The last note.
Yeah, it's true.
Sure.
And there's people coming up to you going, "Man, y'all are pretty good. You should consider doing this." You know,
Yeah.
They don't know your history, and you're like, oh
they
my
don't,
God.
right?
You don't know who I am?
Well, no, and you never,
No, I was kidding.
never
No.
say anything stupid. But
Jeff
man,
says it. But
I do it all the time.
it's really, you know, you get people going, "You should do this song because I think you're underestimating your
Yeah.
your
ta-
abilities."
your
Right.
talent,
yeah.
yeah. Happened recently.
Oh,
with it.
it all the time.
Yeah.
So, and then there's, you know, you think everybody's seen you play at
that's-
some point,
you
so they're
think.
kind of aware, and it's so not
It's
true.
true.
Everywhere you go, you know, we did a gig recently. We've taken on, I won't say where, but the manager, it's a really terrible paying gig, and the guy says to me,
That narrows it
"Well,
down
you
a little."
know."
Like, really play it like
He says, "Well, you know, you
Sounds
just
like every gig I ever played.
you get your foot in the door, and we'll see how this." I'm like, "Foot in
Foot in the door?
Yeah. Dude, my
Yeah.
ass has been
I was gonna say, I put
on
my
the
foot in-
door for
Yeah.
If you're not careful, my foot would be in your
I-
ass.
That's what I said.
I love playing for exposure.
Yeah. All
Yes,
Right,
right.
right.
Oh, thank you. We'd love to. Maybe we
Yeah.
should do this for
So
free.
I've exposed myself plenty.
Really? Man, the way you pointed right at me, that was,
You were
like,
so proud of
that
that.
was
too.
creepy.
And you know,
that was
somebody actually posted recently that says, "You know what Memphis needs is another cover band."
Yeah.
And
That's
I wanted,
so-
I saw that.
I saw it.
well, and I wanted to just blow off and go, "Dude,
Yeah.
go try your all original
Yeah,
thing,"
yeah,
because it's not for
It's
lack
hard.
of having original.
Sean
Oh.
Few's response was coming right up.
Right.
I love
Yes,
it.
yeah.
I love that.
Do you guys know Sean?
Oh yeah,
Of course.
yeah. I don't
So-
know him well, but he's a cool guy.
What do you
Yeah.
want us to do? What do you mean by that?
And what's offensive? We have ton of original music. We
Sure.
could do a whole
And go broke.
and then be
Yeah, you-
well. And I know I would be proud of it, but we might go broke.
You wouldn't
so
be
I'm
able to
just
pay
like,
the bills.
Well,
Yeah.
And there,
There
man,
was somebody, a clown said
we
that.
do. We
Probably
have a
not
Prince
musician.
tribute show. You probably never seen that on YouTube, but that's amazing.
2 hours worth.
What is what?
Prince tribute to Prince.
Oh, man, I'm
Oh,
sure.
if you
Band
check out
that we
anything, check
have.
that out.
And, you know, and it's or another tribute band. I'm like, I dare you to try that Prince show.
Oh,
Yeah.
That
yeah.
Prince
Yeah.
show is incredible.
Right.
And I mean, I arranged the crap out of the horns and all these segues, and it takes a student of that art form of his to
To
do
know
that.
every little
So I'm saying, you know, all these
nuance.
snob remarks
Yeah.
about cover bands,
Right.
tribute bands. I'm like,
It's probably a musician that just never was able to be discovered on Craigslist.
well, he's a nice guy. I actually know who posted the guy who posted, but I just thought, what a weird thing to say
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
we're all just trying to make a living,
That's
or
it.
you know, and that's almost impossible to do
It
anymore.
is a grind.
What we need is more venues that will pay so then we can have more bands.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I'm
that's
saying?
the other thing. Too many places in Memphis want to have music, but they
But
can't
don't
really
necessarily-
justify it
Yeah.
Yeah.
with the you know overhead or
Yeah.
the
Because
you know,
it is a lot, yeah.
there's not enough markup on a hamburger
Right.
To,
to
yeah.
pay a band $1,000 for the night
Sure.
or whatever.
Understood.
So they want you to do it for nothing, and
Mhm.
I'm like,
And then
man,
there's the bands that will
Yeah.
jump at that.
well, that's
know.
see, they mess us
Plenty
up.
of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you got a day job that's you're making six figures, I need you to not do that gig.
I didn't say that. He did.
I totally get it.
It's a contentious subject, and
I get it.
I know a lot of people will go get you a day job. Well, there's nothing else I can do. This is what I do, and put in every ounce of energy to do it. And I mean, yeah.
And God love you for it, both of you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's look. We're crying in our cornflakes. I get it. I get it. But I don't know. It's not a hobby thing, man.
No, for some people it is not. Now, for some people it is a hobby.
This ain't no joke out here. We're trying to make a living.
But there are professional musicians in this town that are trying to pay their bills doing this, and people need to know that. You know, that's
and having to play in several different bands, 3-4 nights a week, just to be able to do it.
I got another public message for all the musicians out there. When the gig pays $200, don't bring your light show.
Yeah.
That your $200,000 job has afforded you to buy all this equipment. Don't give it away at this $200 gig.
Come on,
right. You're making me look bad, dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna go out on a happier note than this.
We're gonna bring a floodlight to your next show, and it's gonna right there.
Dude, I don't want to bring lights, man.
We're gigging Wednesday, Tuesday. Tuesday.
No. Anyway, it is. It's a grind. It's a hard life to keep having relevance, and then.
Mm-hmm. But we're very blessed to have it and
absolutely
to get to do it together.
On an ending note, somebody just asked for "Islands in the Stream,"
and we're working
the other day, and I said, "I hate that song."
I loved it.
The fact that I didn't like it made me go, "Let me see if we can do it kind of our way.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's something there." And dadgummit, I've dug into it. I think we got something
coming
special.
your way soon.
Derek and I would love to sing backup
on Islands in the Stream.
You don't want me singing backup. You don't want me singing backup.
But but then you'll get somebody going, "What are y'all doing that song for?"
Because someone asked.
I don't know what I'm doing any of this for, really.
Somebody requested it and paid me $1,000. How much you got?
No. I can say, and people are probably sick of hearing me say this, but I was very blessed to have a good 5-year chunk of my life where I was full-time in the casino world, casino circuits. It was awesome. It was good money. I didn't have to do anything, travel the country. It was amazing. But it gets pretty demoralizing when every week it's Tuesday night, it's a Wednesday night playing for blue hairs at penny slots.
Oh, yeah.
They don't give a shit what you're doing. Pit bosses are telling you to turn down. It's like, dude, I'm not even plugged in.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Right.
Like,
I'm playing airbase.
You know
right
what I'm
now.
saying? Like, so, but at the time I probably took it for granted, and I definitely partied and I enjoyed it, but it's tough.
We played a gig the other night where they told us we had to turn down because the police had shown up twice and whatever. And they came up and said, just stop after this next song. We were right in the middle of the sermon. Just stop.
Just
turn
fade.
it off. I just cut it. But we're not even going to make it to the end. Let's just cut it right.
We're all good. But speaking of Sean Few, he wrote this. He gave this to us, him and Jimmy Fault.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Several months ago now.
Yeah.
Sean threw it out to us, and we're like, dude, hell yeah. So
it's
now,
your theme song.
That's our theme song. We got Homegrown Music as our theme song.
All right.
I forget the third writer on it, but it was Jimmy Fault on drums and produced, and Sean Few playing the guitar, too.
I don't hear any singing.
The actual full version has Sean singing. It was done as a theme song for a TV show that never got used.
Going back to the PTS thing, it was another moment for Sean where he's like, "Oh my God, this is going to be awesome," and then it got canceled.
And now we're using it.
You feel your pain. You feel your pain.
But now he's finally just raking in the royalties.
He's got this. That's right.
And Sean's a great singer. Sean's a great singer.
No, we love Sean.
Yes, he's awesome.
Sean. All right, y'all. So, again, thank you to listening. If you made it this far, that's what we always say, man.
If you stayed to the end.
I know this is a longer one, but it's long for a reason. When we're talking to people like these guys here, it's just so much fun.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
And don't forget, we are looking for support. So if you're a business owner out there, or you know of one that would like to advertise and sponsor us, there's a form link in the description, or you can go to the Rhythm Section pod.com, find that sponsor tab. Fill out that form so we can follow up with you. We'd love to have that support.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got merch at 131 West Commerce in Hernando, at Boba Cream, and get out and go see live music like these guys.
Right.
They depend on you to keep it going, and without the people to come and see them, there's really no point.
You got to go. You can bring it on. So, Kevin, Bethany,
Thanks,
thank you
guys.
guys.
so much fun.
Us too.
y'all.
Take
Thanks.
care, everybody. Have a good night.
See ya.